Welcome everyone once again to another video. It's F1 League Racing video. It's round I did not check, but we're in Austria. Yes, that's it. Okay, I'm hell good at these intros. We'll wait for that to come back. Yeah, no, it's not telling me. I think it was P8. We'll find out in a minute. Anyway, you saw the strategy there. We're doing softs to and easy mediums. Underfueling the car again with that strategy. I found that worked quite well last time. Not much of quality to talk about because I realised the audio hadn't been recording. I will show you this incident though. On a flyer, as you can see, quali has now ended. This is my last possible quali run. I'm up by about 4/10. There's the Ferrari of Rustico up ahead, and just was right on the apex of that racing line. Stuffed me up hard, and I've had to run wide. Thankfully, I don't appear to have lose much time and come across the line with 4/10 left. P8. There we go. So that's where I am on the grid, but very infuriating nonetheless. Actually, I finished P9, as you'll see there. Bev's in the front as always. Ilantos quite high up. I mean, everyone's sort of about where you'd expect them, basically. So, it's going to be 9th on the grid, and let's have a look at the race. So, I'm getting a little over this game, and its bugs. I have had so many issues with it. The main fun one being that sometimes my wheel will disconnect from the game when it's on center. As you might see here, you see it's jerking around a little bit, but I don't know until the game's started, and it can vary session from session. It's not like once you're in a session, it happens maybe in qualifying for me. Yeah, do you see what's happening? So I have to go in, I warn everyone, hey, I'm AI controlled now because I have to fix this issue. It's a force feedback issue for some reason. So the way I edit it is I have to go in here and I have to change it by just one click, the strength, and then I have to wait for a good time to come back. But as you can see, I'm merging with Wire It Up here for some reason, and I've got no control over this. So I come back at an appropriate time and fuck me, wing damage. Probably hasn't helped by the fact that Wired Up is actually disconnected from the rest of everyone else and is running a different race, but we weren't told until halfway through, so we weren't to know. Because his car had given quite a few people trouble. He was blue flagged as Bev, in the lead of this race, at some point tried to go around him, and he was blocking quite hard. And at the time, obviously, Bev was frustrated, but Wired Up had no idea. He wasn't aware he was racing with anyone. And I think he'd given a couple of other people a few issues. Well, he gave me a few issues when I tried to pass him on the blue flag as well, but not his fault. But, and this is where I just want to toss it in the bin, do you know what I mean? Like, I reckon I get wing damage at just about every race, and, 90% of it probably is, I feel isn't my fault. Maybe I brake a little late sometimes, and yes, I'll put my hand up and own that up. But shit like this pisses me off. I mean, that was my fault. Just braked a little too hard, I think probably as a result of the wing. But yeah, very, very frustrated and upset with this game. It's starting to be not much fun to compete in with all the bugs that it's got. Still have the rev glitch issue, a whole bunch of issues that have been carried over from 2018. I'm just ranting now. But this wheel issue that I've got as well is frustrates me to no end. There's an audio glitch, like, it's just, and it doesn't feel much like a sim racer anymore. I play ACC and iRacing, and they're much more realistic and what I enjoy more. So I'm going to see out the season, but I think I'm probably going to do league racing and ACC mainly now, and maybe do some iRacing stuff as well. But anyway, in P9, it's not too bad. We've got Juzzy behind us, making a move. I actually don't remember what happens here. Just managed to get it around the corner without making contact, but we do get DRS, so see what we can do. Got Deadpool behind us. I'm making a decision about what I do with these tyres. I've stayed out for a little while just to see how it feels, and whether I can run this until the mediums, but yeah, losing that position's made me think otherwise. So we're going to go onto the hards, and then run that to the end of the race, and hopefully I still have grip of the tyres at the end. And I think I called here that I was going to go into the pits, and then completely fucking missed it. So
pitting this lap then.
Yeah, maybe it was the next lap. Yeah, here we go. I call it for the guys behind so they don't try and overtake me, but I overshoot something serious. And then there's me on Discord going, never mind. So, but definitely the next lap.
Coming at the end of this lap.
Yes, we go in for the hards. So it's almost last. I think a couple of people behind me may have pitted earlier for probably wind damage as well. I don't remember there being any DNFs at this stage. Yeah, I think there were 17 drivers. So, yeah, a long way back. But, you know, I had a good recovery drive last weekend, so I kept that positive vibes going on in my head and saying, you know, we can do this, we can make it up. You know, now that I've got some fresh air, a proper wing, you know, let's just see what we can do. You know, every time I go to do practice, and I don't practice very often because it gets me nowhere, I just did an endurance race in Assetto Corsa, and I practiced for 3 days doing the entire endurance race of 1 hour to practice and learn the track. It got me fuck all anywhere because I was second to last in quali, and didn't do so crash hot in the actual race either. So I maintain my belief that practice does fuck all for me, particularly if I know the track. I know that's probably not a good attitude to have, but anyway. What was my point I was trying to make? In practice, I had actually practiced on the hards because I went, I know I'm going to break a wing at some point, probably, or some stupid shit's going to go on, so I better run on the hards and see how they feel, and that's exactly what I did a few hours before this race. To get a feel for the hards and how they feel around the track, because I knew I was going to be racing on them one way or another. So first cab off the rank is our old teammate Barefoot in the racing point. We've got DRS as we come down the first straight, I guess you could call it. I don't know the actual corner names. I've never bothered to learn. But job done. Again, you can hear that rev glitch, which is just outstanding. Now behind him and who was catching me was Juzzy, which is interesting because he obviously overtook me and was my reason and decision for pitting rather than staying out, because I lost that position to him. So yeah, I saw him coming for the last couple of laps. So he's obviously pitted somewhere and we've done the undercut on him, but he's running the soft, so he's going to be much faster. So I'm not entirely sure I can fend him off here. I can see him coming, getting closer and closer and closer in the deltas, and it's just going to be a matter of time before he's going to make a move. So a few laps later, he's got the job done on Barefoot and is now powering down and hurtling towards me. At the time when I was racing, I didn't. When I'm racing with people, and certainly at the start on the first lap, I'm not really paying attention to what driver I'm competing with for position. So I think at the time I didn't register that Juzzy had actually gotten around me. So in the back of my head, I'm seeing lap 14, you know, or lap 12, sorry, and I know that these tyres go off at about lap 14, and I think, geez, I only need to hold Juzzy for like 2 laps, and then he'll have to pit. Again, not realising that he's actually pitted earlier. So in my mind, I'm going, yeah, I can probably do that. You know, a couple of laps I can probably fend off. You know, he's got to make a clean move around me, and there's not many places here to do it. So I thought, okay, yeah, you know, I can hold him off. He's right there. He was within DRS at this stage, and for quite a good number of laps. The way I fended him off. Yeah, he's really gaining. The way I fended him off was ERS management. I feel was quite good. I sort of would push it into high down the straights to sort of counteract any DRS he might get, and then we put it down into low or standard through the corners, and certainly through the S's bit in the third sector. I think they're third sector bits. yeah, and so just trying to keep that ERS above 50% for the moment. It would dip occasionally, but that was sort of the goal. And then within the last 10 laps, then you just push and push and push. So yeah, but it wasn't until we came onto lap 17 where he really made a move, but it was probably as a result of my mistake there. Well, yeah, lap 17, and I'm thinking, shit, he's running these tyres red raw again, not knowing that he pitted. But I've gone really wide, braked way too late, and yeah, you can see the proximity arrow there. So he almost had a bit of a go of me, and I'm just thinking he's going to pit at some point. When are these tyres going to go? Like, either he's like a tyre whisperer, or he's going to lose it here at some point. And you can just see the proximity arrow there, just showing how close he is now. But we've been battling for this long, and I've managed to fend him off. I just don't think down the straights he's had enough of or he wasn't close enough to sort of make any moves with DRS. Again, just counteracting whatever potential increase in speed he might get from the DRS with ERS. And I did think I flipped it up into high fuel modes a couple of times, you know, if I maybe made a mistake through one of the corners and needed to push a little bit more. So yeah, but it wasn't until, and then on lap 18 he's right there. You can see him, he's right there, and I think, shit, yeah, this is it, this is where he's going to get me. I need to brake as late as possible, and there he is, he's alongside, he's on the inside line, and he just loses it, just loses the back end, and I went, oh, thank you, Jesus. So yeah, that took a whole load off. I think, yeah, I think he had just lost tyre wear at that point. I don't care when you pitted now. The tyre must be hitting the tyre cliff by now. At that point, I thought so. Yeah, that took a bit of a load off because now he's obviously further behind, and we're retaining P9 at the moment. So in the points, no overtakes per se. It's a short track, so most of it was just under pits from other people who were on softs, I think, going onto mediums and whatnot. So up ahead we've got Rustico, my mortal enemy at the moment. I mean, I dicked him in quality at Bahrain, so only fair he got me back, I suppose. Yeah, so we got him. So we're going to rake him in now, hopefully. Again, the tyres are still looking okay at this point. I think by the end of the race I had 50% wear on the rears at worst. So yeah, looks like Juzzy's pitted. Looks like Deadpool's down behind us also on the Haas.
Gap ahead is 4.2 seconds.
Yeah, so at some point Ched got ahead of us, I think maybe under a pit stop. Rustico got around him, I think. But we've got Maserati in the Williams behind us, who's on the softs, and yeah, just absolutely putting the pressure on behind me. So I've kept him back for a lap or two, but on the softs, with how quick Maserati is against me on the hards, it was there was never really a battle there. So he gets the move done round the outside, I might add as well. So good move by him, and he goes off into the distance, never to be seen again. So Rustico now, we've reeled him in. Looks like Ched has gotten around him, my teammate, at some point. We're now on lap 25.36, so we've got 11 laps to go. And I would really like P8, please. Rustico. Going very slow through there. I couldn't get the move done. So he's going to hold on for another lap.
The car ahead has front wing damage. Front wing damage.
Yeah, so I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before I could get around him, but I wanted to get the move done cleanly, obviously, and I was trying to find where I could do that. I couldn't seem to get him down the straight with the DRS, because from memory I make this move through a corner. Yeah, he goes wide and so do I, even though we took two completely different lines. Yeah, he's defending well, old Rustico. I mean, I must admit, he has got much better since the first season I raced against him. Much better car control, much better defending. So yeah, well done, Rustico. So yeah, again, just can't seem to get him through the straights. He just needs to have way more power out of the corners there. Goes wide, and I think about trying to get on the power early and getting down the inside line, but that's just not working. I know through here he's going to be slow because he doesn't have much front wing downforce, so tuck it around the inside again, down the inside, and then he just goes very wide. And again, I try the inside line. He's right there, but defending well. Again, he's getting a good power out of those corners. But he ducks down the inside, and I think he might be pitting. Yes, so
Brilliant, nice move.
Yeah, it wasn't really a move though, was it, Jeff? So we get him under pits. But behind us is Cobalt, who is starting to make some inroads a little bit on me. It certainly felt like he was closer. Like the map makes him look closer than what he is. I think he was only about 5 seconds, but boy, I felt those 5 seconds of pressure. I tell you what.
Gap to the car.
Yeah, so now we've got, as you can see on the relative, we've got Ched in front of us, but you can see we've got Williams in front of Wired Up. Yeah, being shown the blue flags, but again, wasn't aware he had sort of disconnected from the server and wasn't racing against any of us. And I was like, why are you trying to defend there, mate? What are you doing? Like, I was like, you're gonna hold me up. Yeah, I mean, he gave the AI that was controlling him gave issues to everyone. But at the time, we all didn't know that, and we're all cursing his name.
Our gap behind is 3.4 seconds. They're on old hards. Their tyres are 16 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:09.9. They have a time penalty of 9.0.
Yeah, bloody oath, Cobalt. Keep it in the lines, mate. Just deciding how far back Cobalt was, because again, he felt closer. Certainly at the hairpin, when I was going really slow, and he's obviously coming up real fast and breaking into the hairpin, the gap felt like nothing.
5.3 seconds. Old mediums. Their tyres are 18 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:10.1. We're gaining by around 0.2 per lap.
Yeah, so I was gaining on Ched a little bit here and there, but he maintained that gap pretty good. I was kind of hoping he may have had some time penalties. Wasn't too worried about Cobalt in the end because he has 9 seconds of penalties there, but yeah, tried to catch Ched, just using all that ERS now that I was hoping maybe he had none, but yeah, you never know. In the positive on the fuel, obviously, so I can run it in rich if need be to push for the finale, but yeah, never eventuated in the end. Yeah, just some information there. You can see my tyres at 50% on the rears and 40% on the front, so not too bad. Tyre wear was probably going to be starting to head off the cliff at the end there, but yeah, never ended up catching Ched, so we're going to come across the line in P8, and that is the Austrian Grand Prix done and dusted for another year. And there's your race winner. 2 Hasses on the podium. I think it was Bilko P1, Pure Salt P2, and ESL in the Renault in P3. So yeah, look, I think Bez had a run-in with Wired Up's AI and ended up stuffing up his race. So very unfortunate there. But yeah, congratulations to all 3. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.